She loved him, or at least she tried. But what if the biggest lie in their marriage was who she really was? And what if the man who vowed to love her forever was the one who'd decide how her story ends? This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about identity, repression, and a love so dangerous it ended in blood. To the outside world, Julian and Ava Whitmore were the picture of suburban perfection. They had the house, the kind with the picket fence and the stone archway Julian built with his bare hands. They had the careers. He, a criminal defense attorney known for saving guilty men, and she, a rising psychologist whose podcast had just hit 200K listeners. They even had the dog, the golden retriever named Booker, who followed Ava around like a second shadow. But what they didn't have was warmth, or truth, or connection. Julian loved Ava the way a man loves the idea of a woman. She was graceful, intelligent, a showstopper in heels, and a knockout in boardrooms. He saw her as a trophy, a partner, an anchor. Ava tried. She tried to be everything society asked of her: the smiling wife, the intimate lover, the doting daughter-in-law. But every night she lay in bed beside Julian, her body stiff with dread, staring at the ceiling, begging God to silence the war within her. She was tired of pretending, and the longer she stayed, the more that war turned inward, into self-hatred, into panic, into whispers of escape. Until one day, she didn't whisper. She acted. It started with little things. Ava stopped laughing at Julian's jokes. He'd talk about politics or the criminal case he was defending, and she'd zone out, nodding at nothing. She stopped reaching for his hand. She spent hours locked in her office after sessions, claiming she was editing the podcast. Julian grew paranoid. He started checking her phone. Nothing. He installed software on her laptop. Still nothing. But then came the moment everything shifted. One Friday evening, Julian came home early. The house was silent, too silent for a woman who usually played jazz or ambient lo-fi during work hours. Booker wasn't at the door. Strange. He climbed the stairs, tiptoeing. From the hallway, he heard a faint rustle, and then thunder. Ava's laugh. The kind she hadn't given him in years. He peeked through the door. Inside was Ava, curled up on the couch, wine glass in hand, talking on Zoom with a woman he didn't recognize. Short hair, pierced nose, tattoo on her collarbone. They were sharing stories, intimate ones. Ava blushed, giggled. She looked alive. "God, Sam," she whispered, her voice softer than he'd ever heard it. "I haven't felt like this since. I don't even know." Julian backed away slowly, heart thudding. That was the moment he knew. His wife wasn't cheating with a man. She was in love with a woman, and something inside him cracked. He confronted her 2 days later. He'd been watching, waiting, making sure. She walked into the kitchen, where he sat with a bottle of scotch and a stack of printed emails, ones he'd recovered from her deleted inbox. Her heart sank when she saw them. "I know," he said flatly. Ava froze. "Know what?" "Don't insult me. I know everything. About Sam. About the nights you said you were at yoga. About the lies." Silence. She sat down. Tears welled up but didn't fall. "I never meant to hurt you," she whispered. Julian's hands balled into fists. "Then why did you marry me, Ava? Why did you let me build a life with you when you were never even attracted to me?" "I didn't know back then. Or maybe I did. I was afraid. I thought it would go away. That being with you would fix it. But it didn't. I tried, Julian. I really did." "Did you sleep with her?" A long pause. "Yes." And just like that, the air died in the room. Julian stood, breath ragged. Ava flinched. "You humiliated me," he muttered. "You made me a joke." "No, I didn't do this to you. This was never about you." He slammed his fist into the table. "Everything is about me, Ava. You're my wife. You don't get to change the rules just because you're finally brave enough to be who you are." They didn't speak for days after that. Ava moved into the guest room. Julian slept with a knife beneath his pillow. It happened one stormy night. Ava had packed a bag. She was leaving for good. She didn't care about the house, the podcast, the reputation. She just wanted peace. Sam had offered her a place in Seattle, a fresh start. Love without lies. Julian stood in the doorway, soaked in rain, holding a cigarette between his lips. His eyes were hollow, the kind of hollow that precedes something terrible. "You're really leaving," he said. Ava nodded. "It's over, Julian. We both know it." He stepped closer. Booker whimpered from the corner. "You are my life," he whispered. "Everything I did was for us. For you. I built this house. I defended monsters to afford this life. And now you're telling me it was all fake." It wasn't fake, just wrong. That word hit him like a hammer. Wrong. And then it happened fast. The knife was in his hand before she could blink. The same knife he kept under his pillow. The same knife from their wedding cake set, engraved with their names. He lunged. Booker barked. Ava screamed. The blade pierced her side. She stumbled, crashing into the kitchen island. Blood soaked her dress. "Julian, please, don't." But he wasn't listening. He saw red. He saw betrayal. He saw his life falling apart in real time. Another stab, and another, until Ava collapsed, breath shallow, lips trembling. She whispered one last word, "Sam," and then she was gone. Julian sat there for hours, staring at her body. Rain pounded the windows. Booker whined beside him, pawing at Ava's still hand. Eventually, he called 911. "I killed my wife," he said, voice monotone. "She was leaving me." The trial was national news. The headline, "Defense Attorney Butcher's Wife in Fit of Rage After Discovering Her Secret Life." Some called it a crime of passion. Others called it a hate crime. But the prosecution didn't flinch. They painted him as a narcissist who couldn't handle rejection, who viewed his wife as property. Sam testified. She cried on the stand, told the court how Ava feared Julian would snap, how Ava was finally ready to live freely. The jury took 5 hours. Guilty. Life in prison. No parole. But that's not where the story ends. 2 years into his sentence, Julian received a letter. It was from a woman in Georgia. The letter read, "Julian, I knew Ava in college. We were together for 2 years. She left me because she thought it was wrong. Said her parents would disown her. Said she'd rather live a lie than disappoint everyone. I thought she was gone for good. But I heard what happened. I just wanted you to know. She wasn't trying to hurt you. She was just trying to survive. We all were. Elise." Julian wept for the first time in years. Not because he missed Ava, but because, for the first time, he understood the woman he killed had never truly been allowed to live. And neither had he. In a world where love is expected to fit a mold, how many lives do we force into silence? Ava wanted to be free. Julian wanted to be loved. But truth has a cost. And in the end, that cost was blood. Thank you for joining us for this true crime documentary. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more chilling story true life crime.